Armed forces up in arms over NHI, but are they jumping the gun?
Police walkabout to walk crime out of one area.
And then find out how our men's national basketball team started their quest for gold. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Government responds tonight to concerns about health insurance coverage for public servants, including those in the armed forces, as it prepares to implement national health insurance. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. A firestorm of online posts erupted, claiming that in the budget communication, health insurance for the armed forces and nurses was cut in half, and the health insurance of employees within those organizations is in limbo as NHI has yet to be established. But in a statement, the Ministry of Finance refuted the claim, stating that there has not been nor will there be a reduction in existing health insurance benefits for any public servant this year. While existing plans are fully funded by government and only managed by private administrators, the statement pointed out that the ministry does expect savings from reduced administrative costs. Ministry of Finance officials reiterated statements made by Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie during the budget communication that government will not impose any additional tax or contribution to fund NHI at the time, but rather the introduction of services will be done in parallel with government's ability to pay for the services. The statement also said that benefits for public servants will shift in a phased fashion with the implementation of national health insurance. Meanwhile, a notice also circulating advised law enforcement officers that a meeting is planned for this Wednesday to discuss the issue. It's a story that we will continue to follow.
A 5-year, $7.5 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank was signed back in 2012 for the implementation of the Social Safety Net Reform Project in the Bahamas. Last week, officials from the Ministry of Social Services explained how they hope families living in poverty rise through the new Condition Cash Transfer Program. RISE is the acronym for Renewing, Inspiring, Sustaining, Empowering. Jiminita Swain tells us that RISE, which targets the poor, is focused on changing behaviors to improve educational achievement and a healthier lifestyle among the poor.
We are concerned with breaking the cycle of poverty.
Minister of Social Services and Community Development Melanie Griffin claims the ministry is of the view that improving health and education in poor households will help those affected rise out of poverty. Griffin maintains that the conditional cash transfer, now dubbed RISE, will replace several existing social services programs and instead provide eligible households with a monthly cash grant. RISE program manager Marva Russell-Mins outlined the criteria required.
In the household, you should have somebody under the age of 18 years. There should also be a pregnant woman in the program in the household. You can also have an elderly person, a poor adult, and we're also looking at disabled persons.
The program manager confirmed that its cycle lasts 36 months with a view of changing learned behavior.
36 months is because we are trying to change behaviors, and so we know behaviors have been set for so long with some persons, and so it takes a while to see a difference for them to even accept that they must behave in a different manner, particularly health-wise, or even sending children to school on a regular basis. And even if children don't perform well, there is an opportunity for them to pull up their grade.
But in order to obtain the benefits, recipients must be compliant. From a health standpoint, pregnant women must attend clinics for the remainder of their pregnancy and attend 4 craft classes. High-risk mothers will have the added requirement of participating in 2 sessions with a lifestyle coach Children between infancy and 12 months must attend routine childcare visits, visit a nutritionist by 6 months, and participate in a lifestyle coach session. Ministry of Health officials have partnered with social services in the program to end childhood obesity. Young participants between 1 and 5 years old will be required to attend an annual well childcare visit and attend 1 nutritional class per year. Those at risk will have the same requirements in addition to 2 sessions with a lifestyle coach once every 6 months.
When we talk about childhood obesity, if we can pull that obesity rate down, then the country itself would be in a better position. We can say that all the children will become healthy eventually. We would hope to break that poverty cycle within generations that we are currently seeing in the Department of Social Services.
Now, there are also education components to the program, too. Primary school students will be required to attend 90% of classes, and if the grade point average falls below 2.0, tutoring is required. The same requirements must be met by high school students. Graduating from high school provides recipients with a one-time cash award as well. Now, officials plan to begin registering food coupon recipients at the Wolf Road Center for the Department of Social Services when the pilot program launches later this month. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Following the move by Marcos City Member of Parliament Greg Moss last week in severing ties with the Progressive Labour Party, many have been wondering if others would follow. While contributing to the budget debate today, Bambootown Member of Parliament Renwood Wells said while he, Moss, and Andre Rollins have been accused of going rogue, it's all about conviction and having a conscience in dealing with national issues. In a passionate address to House members quoting biblical scriptures, Wells affirmed that he supports Moss in his decision and took note of the rumors surrounding his status with the party.
All of us in here should support that kind of action on the part of any member if he feels and he says that he's following his conscience and his conviction. Because, Mr. Speaker, to me, it speaks of the maturing of a democracy. Mr. Speaker, let me say it for the record. Mr. Speaker, my fate, my FATE, is not in the hands of any man. My all group of men and women, my FATE is in the hand of God, Mr. Speaker, in whom I put my FAITH, my faith. And all flesh, Mr. Speaker, will see it together. Because the mouth of the Lord has spoken it, Mr. Speaker. And I know I will see it in this life. And if I don't see it in this life, I'll see it in the next when I rise in glory. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I will take this seat given to me by Almighty God.
South Beach MP and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Immigration, Cleola Hamilton, also contributed to the budget debate. She highlighted concerns with immigration and stressed that more must be done to protect the borders, saying the issue is magnified through marriages for citizenship. Hamilton also gave an update on detainees at the Carmichael Road Detention Center.
Mr. Speaker, I said we need to stop selling our country for a few bucks and sweethearts. We need to stop it. To date, Mr. Speaker, there are 463 souls at the detention center. 397 males and 66 females. 357 of the 397 are Haitian males, and 60 of the 66 are Haitian females. 2 women and 2 children are at the safe house. With the additions, the facility is at its capacity, and the earliest repatriation we can get, Mr. Speaker, we are fighting to get.
Sound the sirens. One prom ride gets some officials in hot water. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Platinum Bride Couture, downtown Nassau on Parliament Street. Begin your happily ever after at Platinum Bride Couture.